Sometimes on Guadalcanal you had time to think. You saw destruction everywhere, and the smell of death was always in your nostrils, but still you had time to think, and often your mind worked with astonishing clarity. This was war. You were war. I thought of the Jap soldiers blown to death aboard the transport. I thought of the Axis robots, German, Italian, and these Japanese whose funeral pyre burned out there at sea, wasting their strength and their blood and their lives. What, I wondered, was my good, supercilious Herr Professor telling his students in Wittelsbach Military Academy today? Was he telling them, as he had told me and my classmates so often, "You are the future masters of the new Germany. The German race is superior to any on earth. No army—" How contemptuously certain he was of his words. "No army can stop the advance of der Führer's triumphant legions." I watched the Jap task force come in. The rising sun painted the ships in reddish relief. 4 transports, guarded by destroyers and cruisers, steaming slowly in from the northwest, from the direction of Savo Island. Our Navy dive bombers, bursting out of a small wispy cloud formation, peeling off. The falling bombs, the ack-ack, the thunder of guns. As I stood there in that dawn on Guadalcanal, watching that Jap task force smashed under the heavy blows of U.S. planes, it seemed incredible that I had ever sat in a Munich classroom as an officer candidate for the Reichswehr. Yet it began casually enough one summer morning in 1937, when I received a letter from my uncle, who was a major in the German army. I would be 16 now, he wrote. He could help me obtain a scholarship to one of the great military academies of Europe, the Wittelsbach of Munich. The government had just taken it over. "It should be interesting for you to see what is happening here," he wrote. That did it, I think. I was 16. I wanted to see the world. I accepted. My first impression of Munich was a city swarming with men in uniform, and everywhere the swastika, on armbands, in windows, on little toy flags the children played with. From the first, Nazi supremacy was crammed down my throat. In the huge, drafty classrooms I'd watch the faces of the boys around me as they heard themselves described as masters-to-be of the master race. If I thought I'd see a knowing grin or even a trace of boredom, I was mistaken. Those fellows believed it. They'd been getting that sort of stuff from kindergarten. In maneuvers, I gained a real working knowledge of Nazi methods. In the course of one in the Bavarian Alps, I was assigned to the Arbeitsdienst. We camped on the edge of a small town. Our colonel ordered the engineers to inspect the town. In 2 hours, he had his report. The roads were bad, the houses decrepit. "Evacuate all residents," he ordered. "Clear the town." That was done with striking speed. The dazed villagers bundled out with their children and hurried to the edge of town. We were called together. "Observe," he said. Squads roamed through the town with buckets of white paint, splashing large X's on every 3rd house. We drew back. The artillery lay down a barrage of shells. They were real. Before my eyes, every 3rd house was blown sky high. Tanks rolled and thundered through the village streets. Overhead, the dive bombers screamed down. Debris rained on us. The infantry, bayonets fixed, charged. This was no make-believe. It was real war. In an hour, the village was virtually razed to the ground. Now our officers rounded us up. New orders came. "Repair the town, house by house. We shall restore this town. We shall set up new houses. We shall place furniture in them. We shall build new roads. In 1 week all residents must be back in their homes again, and the village intact as before. Heil Hitler!" And this was done. Trains came in on a nearby siding carrying prefabricated houses. Army trucks brought them to the village. We became an army of rehabilitation. We rebuilt, we reinstalled, we paved. We created another village. "German efficiency has not been admired by the entire world without reason," said the colonel when it was all over. German efficiency.